Hola and welcome to Monday Night Fire Shrike. Here we are. How is everybody today? Everybody doing
Fan
good?
Doing good.
tiddly-astic.
Okay, Tiffany Astic. Nice. Um, when we last left off, you guys were in the Vescarium. You kind of were kind of a little all over the place to a certain extent. The captain and his entourage, including Serold, have been meeting with the High Despot and found out that there are a number of jobs to be had around here, but you're going to have to file for licensing as an independent contractor, both as mercenaries and as arms dealers if you intend to do business.
Captain, you're
Um,
breathing into your mic.
the you've got and and Vesa, you and Xander were supposed to meet with Major Sarkaz about your kidnapping.
Oh
Um,
shit, are we still doing that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could ditch on it, but um, and Merch, I believe you were on the ship still.
I
Shaba, and we had just stopped off. Actually, we had just stopped off. You guys were together. So now you just got done with the revelation that Vasa's father was actually like sort of like obviously masterminding like the release of several people that that you from that are bad people that don't wish you any well, like Evan Saval, who's from Clearback in what is it, season 2,
mm-hmm.
the terrorist from the Next Step organization, and Cervantic Cordrum, and a couple other people, including Twinkle. You saw that they one of the people that like this sort of mishmash of clips and whatnot of various like news feeds, um, that Warp has been let out of prison too. Although the rest of you don't know that this Yisakai is anybody important to any of you. Um, Only Twinkle would necessarily know at this point. So you guys have kind of gathered around that. We'll lay it out here real quick. Commodore, you have some job opportunities ahead of you that have kind of gotten forwarded to you. Um, you're going to be able to make good on these to a certain extent. There is but you're going to have to get the licensing done first. The job offers that have come to you is there is some mercenary work that you could send some of your mercs on to
Right?
go out and deal with
Excuse me.
a pocket of resistance fighters. Um, there is a job, and there is a possible job for a VIP protection. There is technical consulting jobs for because the Vescarium is looking to try to create a system-wide, a Vescarium-wide infosphere, and they're looking into technologies for that.
Okay.
So you could probably potentially send some people out for some stuff like that. Um, there is also medical emergency, like a call for doctors and what have you, that is off of it's on installation on, was it Vesk 7, I believe, and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. Um, but this is kind of like that deal where you're going to have to get registered and stuff. And it's also can be brought to your attention, like in the message, the protocols and messages. It's like you realize at this point, because you're looking at all these contracts, you have a law degree in the Pact Worlds, but you're barred from using it given your extra legal status right now. However,
Right.
you don't have an actual degree. You don't have an actual you haven't passed the bar for the Vescarium essentially because you never thought to go do it. That's a thing
Fine.
that. But here's where this is important to you. You have the Vitari Tech utilizing their lawyers, including Thobus Greenfellow, to represent you in the Pact Worlds. So you don't
Uh-huh.
have to. You don't have to do a lot of the legwork there, but you also are a step removed from that process, and it kind of is a situation where Vitari Tech sometimes feels like a necessary evil because you need their lawyers
Hmm.
for various thises and that's. If the Vescarium is a whole different story. You don't have a record here. If you're to pass their bar or whatever, there's nothing saying you'd be stopped from practicing law here.
Ooh, that's still rough, even with the D6. I'm gonna re-roll for that today. Well, that's still better. Hang on.
So, I mean, going to get you're a
So that
qualified.
makes it a 20. So is 20 high enough to pass the bar for the Vescarium?
It's less a matter of can you pass it because you've put ranks into lawyer profession. So one assumes you know the things that you're going to need to know. It's just a matter of studying the differences between the legal codes for Pact Worlds and the Vescarium, because their systems are a little bit different. It's not that you can't. You've already passed one. You can obviously pass this one. It's just you're gonna have to take a couple days to study up on the minutia of everything and be able to get to that point. And then
So
schedule a
got
time
it.
to go
I
take
have to
it.
cram for a test while I'm doing everything else.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, you don't have to, but it does give you a little bit more agility
Man,
to manage your own self here in the Vescarium anyway.
I wish Slef were still alive. He'd stay up all night doing Hyperleaf with me.
Hell yeah, you would.
Okay.
Do you need some stimulants, Captain? I can whip those up very quickly.
Not at the moment, but thank you. Um, hmm. So, let's get all of this in motion. We're definitely going to want all of the paperwork done for us to build guns, sell not narcotics, just drugs in general, and anything else we'd like to do. I mean, we
Mm,
can make anything if you give us stuff. Well, darn near anything. Eventually.
all right. So,
So
um,
yeah, we definitely want to set ourselves up like we're a legitimate business here.
mhm.
So,
Are you gonna
let's
go
set
to
it
the?
up as Nahir Enterprises.
Okay. Mm,
Oh.
cool. And who are you gonna go take care of the legwork of all of the running around yourself, or are you gonna send somebody else?
I have enough people that I should be able to send them to do everything and still stay on the ship and play with my yo-yo.
And who are you going to send to do this?
Ooh, let's send Rogo for some of it, and let's send Lady Sonnet for the mercenary thing. And what was the third thing?
There is a medical relief mission to Vesk 7.
Okay, so that one we have to leave Planet 4. I'm not ready for that, so we'll put that on a burner.
Well,
Well, that's true. Hey Shaba, what you doing?
Besides lounging around in a room right now,
Yes.
nothing. What do you need?
I need you to go to Vest 7 and take Glycil with you. There's some hurt people that need some help, and it'll make us some money.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think you probably do get a message from Glycil that he wants to talk to you at some point. By the way,
Oh,
on
well,
the
I
by
was
the
gonna
by, but
say,
he's kind of busy at the moment. But and
if he's
you're
busy at the moment, that's fine. Otherwise, I'll call him. I mean, I was just talking with Shaba. He needs to know
yeah.
he needs to get over there ASAP.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna call him anyway, he would probably be like, before like send you a message that before he leaves that he'd like to have a word with you.
Oh,
Twinkle, by the way, I want to catch something up with you. So your
Mm-hmm.
investigation into how the security systems were breached on the Blue Ember. tracking it down. You've been going code by code, piecing things together, like trying to, get everything sorted out. And you finally figured out what terminal that they used to turn off like the perimeter alarms and what have you. Uh, and you kind of and it's a terminal that's in the science lab, or that's in the med bay, which is fairly confusing because that doesn't really give you a great deal of range of suspects, considering a lot of people go in and out of. Um, at this point, you're trying to narrow down the time that it happened so that you can try to determine the whereabouts of everybody during that period of time.
Right.
So you're like it's like your algorithms that you've had in place, like sends you a check message that what terminal that was used to disable the perimeter alarms.
All right, now we just need to find out who. Well, all right. I probably just send a quick note to. Remind me who's responsible for that now. Kwalu? He's kind of
Qualu,
head.
well, yeah, he's head of security. Shaba's head of intelligence, and captain of the fire Shrike, and
Yeah,
of course head
probably
of Psi.
right. Everyone above Kwalu. Well, Kwalu and above. Just send, CC them in a short email saying, this is the terminal that was accessed. Gonna try and figure out when it was accessed so we can move on from there.
Okay, yeah, but that message definitely hits Shaba and Zai's comm unit, as well as Qualu's. Um, yeah.
And,
And
and
go ahead. Sorry.
and in addition, probably hit. Actually, probably tell anybody who has. Actually, no, that's the exact wrong people to talk to. I was gonna say anyone who has, normal dealings in the med bay, but no. Bad. So yeah, just them. And then probably head to that terminal to try and isolate that, check logins, all that fun stuff, because even if they manage to steal somebody's account information,
Mm-hmm.
it's a start.
All right. Cool. The what is your so your Commodore? You're gonna do. You're sending. Who are you sending off to do the paperwork? You were sending to do the license stuff.
You make this hard. I said Rogo, but I
Oh,
don't
are you?
actually know if he's got the actual skills for it.
He's a soldier,
Who's
right?
yeah? Where's the girl? The one March
Melanie?
owes a ship to.
Rulia?
Oh, her.
Rulia.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rulia. Rulia, what skills does she have
I don't think.
besides piloting?
I don't think she has anything to do with administration skills. But let's check here. Where's she at? There she is. Yeah, that's right, because I didn't go. Mysticism, operative, engineering, athletics, acrobatics, stealth. Yeah, um, huh. You know what?
What's that?
She does have a profession skill that I've never actually decided what it was. Professional mercenary sounds good enough, and that would give her enough knowledge to know how to at least go do the licensing for mercenary work.
Hmm. Hang on. I accidentally reset the computer, so it's currently loading again. Otherwise, I'd be helping you look for someone. What about my Kasathan friend that came with us, the one that doesn't actually have a sheet yet?
He's just one of them's a soldier and the other one's an engineer. Not, I don't think either of them have the requisite skills.
Fine.
What about
Wait a minute. I have like 30 envoys on this ship.
I was gonna say, don't you have other player characters that might have
Yeah.
skills?
Anybody
Hi.
that's an envoy that's not Serald, raise your hand.
You can't see my hand, but it's raised.
I'm not an envoy.
Heh.
I know.
Serald
That's
would-
why I said not Serald. All right. So
All right.
anyway, then you go do that. I want you to take care of the diplomatic paperwork there.
Okay, I can do that. Where am I going?
The perfect.
Well, the good
diplomat.
news is that you're a rich kid. You know where the embassy is. That's probably a good
Yeah.
place to start. In fact,
I
you probably
was
know someone
totally
that can
just
help you that's already on planet.
Actually,
I totally do.
All right. So
Okay.
she's taking care of the diplomacy part.
okay.
Oh, and that means you can also take care of just like the straight business license and stuff like that. So all of that's covered canon wise. And then
Yeah.
Rulia is going to take care of the missionary stuff, or the missionary stuff. Hi, we're here to teach you about someone. We haven't decided who yet, but someone who is great and powerful. Ah. And then what was the other? Oh, and then Shaba is going to go take drugs to the people that are hurt.
Mm,
Right? What was there something else we were supposed to be doing too?
at this point, because you're also trying to track down the diplomat.
Oh yeah, we need to do
Lamak
that too. That was
Lamak
what Cyril and
Vartet-
I were doing, right? Okay, and what about you, Xander? How close is that planet to where Shaba's going that you need to like do some research on?
not even in the same area, cluster.
All
Marixa,
right, see,
that's
that's
all the
why
way
I
out
was
to the
asking.
Marixa Republic. Yep. That's a trip to a completely different part of the.
Well,
to-
Shaba is currently busy, so we can't do that part yet. I was just thinking of side stuff.
Okay.
Oh, and also while I'm doing my thing, I'm also going to have Zenfaresh go look for some like-minded Vesks and see if we can get ourselves a few more people that we can drop off on Planet Zai eventually.
Right on, or at least fill some some low end job slot
Spots,
deal.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So Zrinvesh is going off to do that. Merch, what are you going to? What are you doing with your time here?
Oh,
Yeah, did we need to? Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, did we need to make anything to take to the medical mission that Shaba's going on?
Well,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
I could make medical supplies. I'd prefer to make drugs, but medical supplies are in my purview.
well, there are a number, like, there's a number of medical supplies that could probably be used. You're like the. It's a relatively common enough outbreak that you would know what you would need to send.
Right.
Oh, there you go. That makes it easier. Otherwise, I know we still have quite a few. Yeah, we still have like 160 in just our crew stuff,
Mm-hmm.
all MK1, but that's still MK1s.
Yeah, I mean that's good enough for basic medical stuff. So
Mhm.
yeah, send off 100. We don't need 160.
I will agree with that, but I think we needed at least 160.
Would you
But it's
say that
okay.
the existence of these elixirs of life is basically proof that there's a panacea in this universe? You can be sick with
Fair.
anything and just be like, ah, drink this.
Yeah.
Well, what do
fair.
you? What exactly are you talking about taking in for medical supplies? What exactly is it?
Well, I just erased 100 MK1 potions of healing. So,
See,
or
that'll
not
take
potions,
care of.
serums of healing.
Well, that'll take care of injury, but it's not going to heal disease, and that's what's
Oh,
going
I
on.
thought is that Pathfinder where drinking in one of those gives you a status bonus to saves against disease.
No,
Oh,
no.
there is one that we could make that gives us stat or a bonus for that for like an
Well,
hour.
if you want me to make those, I can make them with the nurse.
Well, here's
Well, and those are like 375 a piece, though.
True.
I don't know exactly how good-willed we want to start in this system. Are they sending us with supplies? Or are we just supposed to go see what's going on?
no. They can send that like they'll send you with supplies and stuff. This is mostly they need doctors, and they need
Oh.
doctors to administer drugs and administer treatment. Is what this is
Administer
all.
drugs, don't kill them.
Okay, so let's try this. Merch, would
Yes,
you
Captain.
like to go on this mission with these guys, Shaba and the rest, and be a good doctor? I say with air quotes.
Captain, if you want me to go on the mission, just tell me.
Okay. They need medical help, and you are. And I lean down and whisper, "Pass, doctor."
Merch looks at you kind of flatly and says, "If you need my expertise, I can go and take care of it."
I realize that you have pressing experiments here as well. Are you at a point where, how about this? Would you spare the nurse for this mission?
Absolutely, I could spare the nurse, and to be honest, I am at a good point where I could set things aside, so I believe that I can go and take care of this. This is no real issue.
Okay, in that case, let's let Shaba know before she takes off.
Hmm.
Doo-doo-doo. Shaba, the captain's
Shaba
ringing
stepped
through.
out for just a second.
It's okay. Then Shaba will know when he gets back.
Okay.
She gets back.
They...
Vesa, you go do your thing.
Okay. Tell me the name that you want to call your
Ooh.
business again.
Let's send. Who do you want to watch your back?
Who's that big guy that's really super duper sweet, but also will murder you if you do something wrong?
Wreck?
Wreck it is.
The SRO, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want him.
All right.
A cross
yeah,
between Johnny number 5
And
and
yes,
someone
man.
cooler than that.
And
Yeah.
what does he look like? So I have
He's a
a
So-
good.
robot.
Rec was originally built to be a combat medical droid. He gained sentience, obviously, when his consciousness entered the shell. So as such, he's generally painted. That you can see where there were red and white stripes that were painted on him at one point. Those have mostly faded off to a certain degree. He's got a humanoid shape. He's about medium size, probably around probably just around 6 foot even.
Okay.
You wouldn't even guess at his weight, but probably heavy. And
Yeah, like 400 pounds.
he tends to carry a hail cannon with him and a giant what is this, sledge of some sort? Giant
I
fucking
think so.
hammer. Yeah,
I'm
a
looking.
giant hammer.
I
And
may be secretly in
he's a
love with
good
him.
old boy.
Yeah,
That's his background, is he's the good old boy.
but
Let me
he
write that down.
yeah he definitely would be like
Yeah, a
he would
tactical core hammer.
yeah he would
Hammer,
he'd be like
Jesus.
he'd be like, well, don't worry, ma'am, I will endeavor to do my absolute best to kill anybody that attempts bodily harm upon you.
I am so glad you're coming with me. Thank you so much.
And he would mess stuff up.
Jesus, fucking 33,
Right,
that 20
I'd
off
never
the-
actually seen him roll that core hammer, so I figured I'd see how it went.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and because it that hit that critical effect, oh god, 8 more points. That would have been 18 points damage and a 1d6 to points of damage on top of that. Jesus, that would have been a lot of damage. Yeah. And you're sending Nurse Jerkazal on the medical mission, or are you having her watch your
Merch
project?
and Jerkazal are
Both of
You're
us
going
are
both
now.
going.
going.
You're both
Yeah, I
going.
mean, like, all of
So-
my research right now is pretty punitive. There's nothing
Right.
that's, like, actually pressing.
Right.
Right. But I also didn't want to force you on a mission where you were going to be annoyed that you weren't doing what you needed to be doing.
No, sure. And Merch definitely recognizes that, but he's like, I guess I have to contribute to the ship. You know what I mean? He's begrudgingly
and
accepting a mission that, like,
Who
he knows
knows?
he
You
needs
might
to
find
accept
100
anyway.
people on planet that need cocaine.
True. He might. He
Or 100
might.
people that can disappear.
He also might find that.
Well, probably not 100 people because I'm pretty sure that would get noticed.
Mhm.
Um,
But he might find one person who needs
A
to
cop just,
disappear.
ooh, what's this?
like,
Okay.
this doesn't seem right.
Ooh,
Alright,
oh,
so-
whoa.
Shaba, who do you have? Oh, Shaba's still gone. I have to look myself.
Yeah.
Alright, so currently going on the mission is the Fire Shrike, plus Nurse Jerkazal, Merch, and Glycil. So somebody probably needs to get off. Fire Shrike 4.0, where are you? There you are.
And I think
Oh. So that means we can keep Xander, Bazik, and Isaki. Oh, good. He's back.
Brian, are you back?
I am back.
Ah, hey.
Hooray!
All right. So, Brian, this medical mission, or sorry, Shaba, this medical mission that you're about to go on, we're going to take. Well, wait, Xander, do you have medical stuff too?
No.
Okay, fine. So, we're going to relieve you of Xander, Bazik, and Isaki and replace them with Glycil, Nurse Jerkazal, and Merch. And that will be your crew, along with Scramjet, Whistlefizz, and yourself. Oh, should we keep the gray or should we send the gray with you? What do you think?
Well, you also have
Don't
Rex.
matter to me.
You also have Rex Tolak and Dyden over
Oh.
there as well.
Right.
They'll
Now
all-
let's move.
Yeah.
Let's move them back to the Blue Ember,
Okay.
and we'll get some people to watch them.
And
And
what about
then
is Vector still over there, or did you bring him back to the Blue Ember?
Vector is not over there anymore. Vector has been back since we redid the sheets. Like
Okay,
2
all right.
times ago.
All right. Yeah. So. Yeah, Rex Tolak and Dyden Losif both are more than happy to stick around. Seeing as Dyden is more than happy to stick around. Rex is
Mm.
there's just this unspoken thing that he pretty much just wants to kill Merch at this point. He does
Oh,
not
yeah.
want to.
Fuck it.
Merch
Oh yeah,
threat-
definitely.
Merch threat-
Definitely needs to be
Merch
over here.
threatened his life. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Oh, boo hoo.
And that's
Look
fine.
at this.
There has to be one person that doesn't like everybody.
yeah.
But and I will spend some time at some point today while we're doing everything else talking with Rex and her
Mhm.
because I need them to chill out just a little bit longer. Also,
And-
I'd like to learn more about exactly when he stepped out, so to speak, what was happening at the time. I mean, if he has been being remade for 80 years, that's just crazy in itself.
Mhm.
Because he appears to be how old? Like in his 40s?
Yeah, late 30s, early 40s.
So yeah, like I said, 80 years ago for a guy that looks that young.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, he's definitely got, but at this point, he's a little bit more like trying culture shock, time shock kind of thing, trying to figure out all of the advancements. He's like, he's mostly confused about the fact that we're like at this point, he's confused why you're in the Veskarium because when he went under, there was war between the Veskarium and the Pact Worlds.
Mm.
So
Okay, so actually, we should be able to find a lot about that here.
yeah,
So let's update our local so he's got more stuff to watch and read, and we'll Lilu Dallas him until he's comfortable again.
Yeah, and you've recognized this. You recognize this kind of mindset, right? Like there's a certain amount of avoidance going on here, but there's a certain amount of directly engaging the problem. Like he Rex Tolak has wasted little time trying to learn everything he can about his situation. He also seems to have developed some sort of like protective like relationship with Dyden, probably just because they both came out of the same experience, more or less. Um,
Well,
like
and they were talking to each other for the first few days while we ignored them because life happened.
yeah. Um, well, they probably talked to Glycil as well because Glycil's in the
Yeah.
med bay frequently. That's where he works out of.
You know, we need an intern to remind us of all the little things we forget to do in a day, so we remember to do.
Um, yeah, and I think there is this point. Xander, what are you doing with your time here? What do we find? What is because on the heels of this revelation about Vase's father and trying to discuss what your next move is and what have you, um, they they're not ready to head off to the Marixa Republic. So what are you going to deal with that?
I was
How much
tempted
money do you
just
have?
to
You can rent a
wander
boat.
around. Rent a boat?
Rent a boat?
Or a starship.
No money. So
Okay.
I was
Well,
just
and
going to wander around.
All right. Well,
Do you
you
need
could try
money?
to
I can loan you
steal a ship.
money.
No, it costs more than 100 credits to send him where he wants to go.
I have more than that. And not like
I
a
know.
lot more than that, but just kind of call my shitty dad.
call your dad.
Speaking about that, I've been thinking. It's a really bad idea to let that go on for too long. And I know we have other important things that need to happen, the whole saving the world from ending thing. But what would happen if we made, like, Scooby and the gang and split up?
Let's split up, gang.
We've got two
Well-
ships. I'm not entirely sure if I feel comfortable about the rest of it, but
Okay.
we've got two ships.
Yes, and one of them is already leaving to go do something else.
I didn't say right now. Besides, we're not leaving to go find this power source or whatever right now either. It's just something that I thought we could keep in mind for the future.
I mean, it probably does need to be addressed before.
Yeah,
he
it's a little
starts-
more important than, well,
Hey, remember when we had 3 ships? This would be so much easier if we had 3 ships.
I love how you're turning it into an argument about that.
People complain, but 3 ships worked.
Right?
Yeah.
I missed
no,
my
no.
little Spitfire.
I know. I miss it too. But you have to admit, it is nice to have like most of the manufacturing on one ship.
All right.
Unless, of
just a
course,
thought.
you have the other ship. No. And I agree.
No, but I
we
have the
can
party
split
ship.
it up. Yeah, you have the party ship. That's true.
Well, and technically, with the rules you guys have with since they came out with the Starship Operations Manual, you could have 3 ships. They'd all be. Let's see. And I know this is kind of a weird discussion on this, but let's see. Where did they put it? It's in the squadron rules, right? Where is that?
Probably.
Yeah, that's the.
All right. So there are bonuses to having only 2 ships. There are bonuses to having more ships. But really, honestly, it just leads to how many of the ships will get taken by the enemy because we all got out to do stuff and our secondary crew did not manage to hold them back.
Yeah, so if you had 3 ships, they would all be of a tier that is equal to your average party level minus 2.
So that's 10 minus 2. So they'd all be level 8.
Something like that.
That's ridiculous, sir. I love it. but we're not doing that. We're fine with 2 ships right now.
I don't know. I like 3 level 8 ships, you know.
Oh, I know, but right now,
Oh yeah, no. In this moment, no. It's
right?
something for
And I
discussion
haven't
later.
actually built a new ship with starship options yet. I've just read them.
I guess I need to get my A game on and read the book, eh?
Yeah, I've been concepting some ideas too. So,
Right? But anyway, we can talk about ships later.
but yeah, exactly. So, yeah, you guys are. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your discussion. You guys were talking about direction.
Yeah, Cyril, while all this is going on, I want you to grab a couple of the man, what's Quali's race?
Pacha.
Patra. Grab your guys and a couple of those big Patra and see what you can dig up on our missing diplomat.
Actually, you already sent Qualu and the other
Oh yeah, you're
Polonus
right.
off to to check their contacts and see if they can find any information.
You're right. Okay. I don't know.
Still,
Anyone else that wants to do stuff, do it.
I believe that myself and my compatriots should be more than sufficient.
Very well. Make it so.
All right. Cool. So you guys are kind of in Xander. You're just wandering around for the time being. So let's start with Vesa. You get to the first office of the office buildings, and it's kind of this. There is an infosphere. You can pull up the Vescarium map and whatnot, and you get find your way to it. The first place you get to is the business licensing division. And there is a Vescarium woman that is standing there, and she just looks stern. She's like, "What can I do for you?"
Hi,
Mike
I need
Wazowski.
to. I need to get a business license. Can you help me with that?
Business license? What kind of business license?
Oh, that's a great question.
You have my number.
Give me a second. I need to call the person in charge.
He just looked at you impatiently, like, "What are you doing?" Like,
I don't know what I'm doing. And I call. Ring, ring.
No. It's Power Rangers, remember? It's
I-
do. Okay. Hello?
I've never watched Power Rangers. Hello, sir. This is Vesa. I have questions about this business license. She's asking what kind of business this is, and what exactly am I to say?
Well, let's see. We need a license for making weapons, producing pharmaceuticals, and
mercenary work.
oh, yeah, but I thought
Yeah,
and
really,
see if you can get a mercenary license while you're there as well.
No, that's
Okay.
right. You sent Rulia to do that. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
forgot.
Oh, so I don't
No,
have
it's
to do
okay.
that?
She can check while she's there.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Not that I can think of at the moment, but if they bring up something, we probably need that license too. Also,
Okay.
see what the licensing is for running a large event like a carnival
Okay.
after
okay.
that, just to see what they say.
Okay. I can do that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hang up the phone. Hi again. Hi. So I need a weapons license. I also need a manufacturing license for weapons. I need a manufacturing license for pharmaceuticals. I'm also looking into mercenary license. And do you also have event licenses?
She just looks at you for a minute and she goes, "I need to see your tax liability seal."
Oh, she do have that.
Okay.
Taxable seal. Yeah, like,
Oh fuck, do we pay taxes?
Oh, fuck, do we pay
You
taxes?
think we pay taxes?
We're space pirates. I don't think we pay taxes. I think that's rule
Great.
number 1 of being a pirate is fuck taxes.
You
Unless it's to the free, unless it's to
I
the
was
free
gonna say
captain.
I pay
Did you want
taxes to the free captain.
Did you want Shaba to make up fake tax forms?
I was gonna
That should
say
do.
we should
Yes.
probably.
Can we fake our tax
Yes.
forms?
So I want to text Shaba. I want to text
No.
Shaba while this. No, okay.
Uh,
Ah,
Fuck me, bureaucratic bullshit. Okay.
call me back.
Okay. I'm gonna give me. Do, 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 do.
You did great. You did great.
God.
All right.
Uh,
All right. Just hand the phone. Hand your comm to that person.
oh fuck! Hold on. Hi, here's this. Please take this.
And
Hi, this is Captain Zai Volbeto. The hell's that? That's still fine. It's 28. Have you heard of me? Because this will be way easier if you've heard of me.
yeah, like I've heard of you. You fought the Hell Knights.
That is true. So I'm trying to become a law-abiding citizen of your realm, and she would appreciate as much help as you could give her. And I would appreciate it as well.
I still need the tax forms.
Okay. Can we get those where she's at, or does she need to go somewhere else?
Those are in the offices down on level 2 down the hall in section B34.
Okay.
I can go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn it.
Um.
Besa, did you hear all that?
Yep, I got it.
Okay. When
will
you go to
call-
that room, make sure that you don't need anything else before you come back to this guy. He seems to be, annoyed by the whole situation, and I
Mhm.
apologize for that.
It's okay. I can.
I don't
okay.
know
It's
if
okay.
Bess get offended by
It's
being
okay.
misgendered,
Alright.
but that's a lady.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
I'll call you back. Bye.
Bye.
So I hang up, and I want to ask. her.
Her.
Okay, her. Real quick. Are there any other forms that I need before I come back? Like after my tax form,
Seal.
seal, my tax seal. Do you need any other forms?
I don't, but they'll probably want a form of intent
Mhm.
mission statement, that sort of
An
thing,
intent to
and a
sell.
declarative permission from and a declarative permission form from the business administration office.
Merch, we're
Okay.
going to need a complete ingredients list for every drug that we.
You want me to give up my trade secrets, Captain? That is completely ill-advisable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then just make
Wow,
one
is
up.
this how like the
Besa-
American social service system works?
I feel like I'm
you
listening
wish it
to
was
a-
this simple.
It feels
Yeah,
like I'm
right?
listening to a veteran try to work with the DAV.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
right?
And there
Yeah.
you go. I understand
So-
that one.
It reminds me very
Yeah.
much of like Douglas Adams' The Planet, where it's all bureaucracy.
Yes.
I'm feeling this. So, okay, great. I will be back. Thank you so much.
and
I'm
she
gonna-
never returned.
Never came back.
That
so I'm
night,
gonna,
when the
power
Vestalman
walk.
went home.
Oh no.
Oh,
Ooh, give me a sense
gonna
motive
power
check
walk.
here
Okay.
real quick. I wanna see something here.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I get a 1d6, right?
Yep.
What's that?
You should.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
And
let's see. There's no spaces, right? Just
yeah.
I'll get there. Nope, not recognized.
so
Fucking asses.
/r space.
Yep, I got it. Nope, that's not.
So-
That's an underscore. That's an underscore. So if you want to add a 2 to that 1, that'd be cool.
Don't you work with computers?
Yes, but not right now.
But not roll 20.
But not right now.
Not roll 20. Sometimes
There's
they
a
don't work
difference.
with me.
World 20 and its quantumly randomized dice.
No, it's roll 20 and it's quantumly randomized features in every update.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay. So what does 31 get me?
So a 31.
Jesus Christ.
So a 31 gets you. So you kind of have you've. This is a thing that you're a little familiar with, right? You've been with maybe you've been with your father, or even your mother when they were on official capacity on Castrovel, and this is government bureaucracy. And the thing you remember, you're like maybe you have like a flashback scene of your like maybe it's your father talking to you like how old is Vesa in this flashback that this conversation is having.
She's like 11 or 12.
All right, so it's like maybe he's walking with you and he's like, and the first thing is he's like, posture open, straight up, chin up, power walk.
Right.
Never show weakness.
And
Says
remember,
in-
son, dying is gay.
wow. He's like he's like and he's like you walk into an office and the clerk there is talking to him, and it's sort of a very similar situation. The guy's giving him a runaround on paperwork, and he goes, listen, he goes, I know you don't need half of those forms. You don't even look at them. As far as I'm concerned, I believe your company produces a 99% waste on data storage over useless information. And he just kind of goes on this spiel where he's just sort of leveraging the idea that the bureaucracy that he's going through is sort of unneeded. And he's like, when it gets down to it, the only forms that they ever look at are this one and this one. I have this one right here, and this is the one that you're going to give me. And the whole time through it, he's very he's very matter of fact about it. He doesn't tell him any of this like it's a proposition or a question. He just says it like it's a fact. He says it like he expects the person to completely be compliant. And to your surprise, the guy shuts up after this and says, "Well," he goes, he looks around and he's like, yeah, I guess my supervisor is off duty right now. I can just sign this." And maybe there's like you like walking out of the office. He talks to you like as he's talking to you. He's like, "Remember, Vesa, not all of the bureaucracy that they put in place is needed. It's meant to keep the weak-willed from accomplishing anything of note. Only the strong survive in business, and in diplomacy, in diplomacy, it's very little difference." It's like, remember,
So fascio capitalism.
yeah, you just it, and this is the kind of thing like you always sort of like you get a like maybe that sort of like ick vibe out of it, because it's the kind of thing that that the like your planet sort of gets the Lashunta get a bad reputation on. They don't have that sort of like system, but it's very close to. And Morena Kesh spends a lot of time trying to combat the influences of like sort of laissez-faire capitalistic ventures. These companies that are
fascio capitalism.
well, I mean, there's this thing where like but you realize in this moment that he was correct in that situation, that there are times where they don't need 100 different forms, and sometimes all it takes is reminding them they don't need the 110 different forms, and straightening your back and holding your ground. So
Gotcha.
you realize that you can probably diplomatize your way through skipping a few steps, but
Okay.
you're probably not. It's probably a little late to skip a step with the lady you just talked to, because
Yeah, super
stopped
fucked up with that one.
you started off on the wrong foot with her, and then handing the phone over to Zai sort of undersold your power in the situation too.
Yeah,
But
it did.
but the next and you're kind of sort of aware of the power dynamic there, but you can definitely like the next office you go to, you remember, you're like, I could, what Zaya just did, I could do that too. I remember lessons that my father taught me, as fucking horrible as he was, you know.
You're
So
right. God, getting life lessons during a session, I love it. Like, I'm going to use it for real now.
That might not
Okay.
work in real life. That might get you
You-
kicked out.
You would be surprised. Because I'm already kind of messy in like real life. Okay, so I'm gonna like trot down. I'm gonna
Mhm.
trot. I'm not gonna trot. I'm gonna walk, with a fiery passion, power walk
Yep.
with a fiery passion
Yep.
down to the place to get I wrote down my notes, a form of intent, I believe, right?
Yeah. Well,
Or
are
just
you
the
going to
office that'll give me the thing.
are you like you can go to either one and try to skip part of this process. It doesn't matter to
Okay.
me. Either the Office of Intent or the tax verifications.
Let's go to the tax verification first. Let's try
Okay.
that and just try and skip the rest of these steps.
Yeah.
So
I say.
I'm gonna walk in,
Mm-hmm.
and who do I see at the beginning?
Yeah. You see you see another Vesk. This one is
Okay.
this one is a male, not quite as big as the woman in the last room in the last office, because they're not all one shape.
Right, right, right. Okay, so I'm gonna step up to him. It's a man or a woman?
Yeah, it's a man.
It's a man. Hi, sir. I am in search of a tax seal. Can you help me with that?
He's like, I'm gonna need a letter of intent from the Office of Business Administration
Mm-hmm.
before I can get that started.
Right. So now I'm gonna flash back again to my dad. And be like, listen, I know that this is just a lot of bureaucratic nonsense, and sometimes you need it, and sometimes you don't. And I understand that in this case, you probably don't need that. Um, and I think that it would be super great if we could just not waste each other's time, and you help me, and I will definitely get out of your hair. Um, I mean, that'd be awesome. Can I roll a diplomacy check?
Yes, you may. I would have also
Alright.
accepted a bluff check if I'm going there next, and
Okay. And I'm
you get
pretty
your
sure. I think I get a 1d6 on that. I think. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because I'm
awesome.
doing. One,
Awesome.
did I get a plus? Sure.
All right.
34.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, I think the guy, the vest is like, he kind of looks around, like, normally I'd say no, but he says normally I'd ask you to get get the form before you got this, but the for the intent is just down the way, and the Office of Intent is just down the way. If as long as you hit that on the way out of here, just sign this.
No problem. I really appreciate this. And I'm going to sign. Take
All
my
right.
shit. Give me
All
my
right.
shit. I didn't say that. I
Xander.
did not say give me my shit to this guy. Like,
Right, I
you're not
imagine.
like, give me my shit.
All right. So, da, 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 da. Let's see. The sorry, get reading through messages. Let's go over real quick to a let's go over real quick to uh, Commodore. The Glycil wanted to have a conversation with you. Are you going to tell him to just get on board the ship, or or are you going to tell and have the conversation when you come back, or do you want to talk to him now? We can't hear you. You're muted. Give him a second here.
How about now?
There you are.
Yay!
Of course, I'm going to talk with him now. I told him I would.
Yeah. So I think
Yes, Glycil.
I think he like wants to talk to you like in like your office, so to speak, in private or whatever, in his office
Okay.
or whatever. But um, yeah, and I think he does that thing where he kind of paces a little bit back and forth, and he's like, "Captain, I've been with this ship for a while." And he goes,
Yes.
"It's like, Do you know why I stick around despite the reputation of the crew and the general not staying in one place?
Mm, it has been discussed amongst me and a couple of others of why you stay. But no, honestly, we don't know.
Because when I worked for Dr. Tallet, I was regularly forced to compromise my ethics. And it was a situation I wasn't aware of when I got involved with the company and regretted later.
Epic.
Wasn't able to make a move until the shadow of ever blew up. This Dr.
Mm,
Doucheborg does not follow any practices of ethics. I've lodged a number of complaints about unethical practices, and if you don't believe me, watch the video of what went down with the people out of the cryo sleep.
mm,
It was an ugly situation, and Vasa's intervention is the only thing that really brought it under control.
right.
Epic.
I need to thank her for that again, actually. But no, no. Merch has been reprimanded, and Qualu is aware of the situation. Um, Steps have been taken that need to be taken, and the situation is under control.
He's just like, he's like, I'm just, yeah, let's see if he actually believes you've actually reprimanded him. That's actually a good.
Yeah.
Epically made, not ethically
Because,
made.
yeah, Cap never reprimanded me. Ever.
Well, it's not like Glycol has the best chance, but it's still within possibility that he could
Oh,
potentially.
ho, ho,
Ooh, so
ho.
close.
Ooh,
Ah,
we're so
Close.
close.
He
Nope,
probably knows
nope.
something's up, but doesn't exactly know. Can't prove it.
Yeah, he's kind of like, look, I'm just trying to warn you, Deeshborg, he's gonna be he's gonna be a problem. He, he is like, and one
I
of
do
these
agree with
days,
that.
and one of these days, somebody's gonna find themselves on his table, and they're gonna wake up, and it's not gonna be good when they do.
If they
Mm.
wake up.
I was gonna say Theo's not gonna
That's
wake
true. They won't wake up.
up. No. Oh, I put
No,
too much
they'll
arsenic in
they'll
it.
no. They'll be awake the whole time. Don't worry. I'm not
Yeah.
cruel.
Yeah,
I'm not cruel.
I'm not cruel. I'll be awake the whole time while I
I'm
do
just going to
horrible
use
things
a
to you.
local anesthetic and
Stop
that's it.
twitching, otherwise I might cut a major artery.
Oops, my finger slipped.
What is anesthetic? I don't understand this word that you're saying.
Malpractice. I don't have a license. Get fucked.
Mm.
It's called a 26er gin.
Ha.
Sarah, and I think Glycel probably leaves it at that. He's like, I'm just gonna leave it at that, and he says, for now, and he kind of he says, but he says, but who do you have on security on this mission?
I closed that page. One moment.
I don't think you have anybody. Well, Shaba.
Oh yeah, the loose cannon.
It's something.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Let's see. So Rec is technically going to be there. So
So they're
it'd
waiting
probably be
until-
Rec or Scramjet. Scramjet has a little bit. What kind of drone does Whistlefizz have? Is it a stealth?
Nope, combat.
Oh, see, there you
And
go.
he's like,
Bless you.
Thank you.
he's like, I think he's like, I feel so much better now. And he like, there's clearly some sarcasm there. He's like, and there's a little, and the funny thing about it is that like Glycel, as he's walking out, you're kind of thinking about. He gets a few odd complaints himself about his bedside manner. I mean, he seems to have acted as a professional the entire time he's here, but he is a little grumpy at times.
Well,
He's not
and
grumpy.
we give him a lot of leeway with that because we still need. I hit Zenfaresh up and tell him to look for another Usharu, right?
Osharu?
Yeah. Look for an Usharu. We need someone to keep him company. Regardless of the sex of it, it will make his demeanor improve.
Yeah, Zrinvesh probably send something back about like, we'll try, but it's the Veskarium.
Heh.
I'm sure there's at least 3 that want a job.
Yeah, the Osharu aren't exactly native to the Veskarium either, so.
Are you trying to get him a babysitter?
No. Species-wise, they travel in pairs.
Oh
mhm.
yeah, true. I
They
forgot
tend
about
to-
that, to be honest.
He has, not only does he have PTSD, but he doesn't have the other half to help absorb some of that PTSD, so he's got to deal with it all.
Yeah,
They're an interesting little race.
yeah, I do want to cut over here real quick. Serold, how are you going about your investigation here? What are you doing? And
Well,
you've got your people with you and just them, or
I think that's just it because the other people
Yeah.
I was asked to take with were Patra,
Already
but
doing stuff.
the Patra
they're-
are Natra, if you will.
exactly.
Come on,
Yeah.
don't laugh. Fuck you, people.
No, I laughed. I went,
I was
"Ah."
muted.
I'm sorry, I was muted, but I totally laughed at that.
James is
you all.
bullying us, stream.
Oh no, I forgot to laugh. Ha ha ha.
I was come for a battle of the wits, but it seems you are unarmed.
Your mom's. Never mind. Never mind. I couldn't go through with that one.
Call
Couldn't go
back
through
to
with that.
Thursday.
And fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's just the two of us and probably doing some like fucking ground level investigation where we go to like the fucking dingy bars and start asking, not probing questions, but basically asking questions that could point us in the right direction of this investigation. Basically, like, we're looking for this Lashunta, or information about a Lashunta diplomat. And had he come to Vesk Prime recently? Had he been on this
So
planet
it's not
before?
it's not a.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
not
I
a
don't
Shinto.
know why I thought this was Vase's
Yeah,
dad.
no.
No.
This is the one. The guy you're looking for
The
is a.
God, what are
No,
they
if
called?
you can find Vase's dad
Vase's
while you're
father.
out,
We're looking for
I'm not
some
sure why
for a
he'd be on
diplomat
Vesk
from
Prime.
a diplomat from the Adari.
Yeah, you're looking for a diplomat from the Adari. So let me get
Cathopans.
so let me get some culture checks here.
Why culture? Thought I had a
Because
rule to
it's
substitute
info.
it for shit.
Can you call me and I can roll a culture check for you?
Well, you also have Kaleth and Harak also.
Let me
so you-
let me go through their things. I don't think they got great culture either. They both better than me.
interesting.
Well, one
How many
of them
languages
is
do you speak?
me.
Yeah.
I speak. Where's my languages? Common,
should be near
Castavelian,
the top.
Aklo, Celestial, Brethedan, and Islanti.
Wow.
let's see.
As humans, that would be a ton of languages to know. But as a Starfinder character, I'm like, huh. I don't know if I've known anybody that only spoke 6 languages.
Yeah, but I'm also not an int person.
Mm,
I
True.
have a 22 in charisma, so there's that.
No, you are very handsome.
you basically, you and Harak mostly find out that the last place that guy was going to, and it sort of reinforces what you were told. The High Despot told you that the last anybody knew, he was headed towards the Conqueror's Forge, because he had some business out there.
Okay, Conqueror's Forge.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that word. Conqueror.
Hey.
Well, you know how the the Pact Worlds has the Absalom Station. They
Mhm.
have the Conqueror.
So
Only
it's a
Concord.
station.
Yeah, it's a station. The big difference is this is less of a diplomatic hub and more of a military production facility.
All right, so definitely good information. I guess if that's all they're gonna give me here, we have
Um,
enough to get an idea where we need to check. So
Yeah.
probably go back and tell the captain that our next stop should be Conqueror's Forge.
all right. Yeah, because from what they told you, from what you were told, what the High Despot told you was that he was on his way to the Conqueror's Forge, but never arrived or disappeared shortly thereafter. There's a bit of confusion regarding the communication logs.
All right. And is Shaba gonna actually have to go into drift to get to this place, or is she gonna just be able to fly through space?
No, it's in system that she's going to.
Right.
It's Vesk. It's Vesk 7. She's going closer towards the outer part of the Veskarium system. So you are on Vesk Prime, the Conqueror's Forge. Vesk 7 is going to be a little bit farther out than what the Forge is from where you're at. Because it'll be Vesk Prime, Vesk 2, Vesk 3, Vesk 4, then the Conqueror's Forge, then 5, 6, 7, and 8.
See, the thing is we don't know exactly how long they're going to be gone. So we're going to assume they've already left, but we could leave a message for them so once they get back, they could hop to find us.
This is true. But as far as I know, you guys hadn't said you'd started that the Fire Shrike had loaded up and started and taken off yet.
No, but
So you could still communicate between the two ships before they do leave.
yeah.
It is just my recommendation, Captain, that we not sit on our laurels for this, as it were.
No, we're still. Oh no. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and do that. All right, so Shaba, go ahead.
You do get a couple of pings here, though. You get one ping from someone named Omzak Linebreaker with the Vesk State News with the Vesk State News Agency. Wants to do an interview with you.
Please tell me he's got a fucking news reporter mustache.
He's a Vesk. They don't have mustache.
It's a
I
But
don't
he's
care.
gotta.
He
Is
couldn't
those
wear a
weird
fake one.
feeler things like Chinese dragon feelers?
They don't act silly in that way. They're military conquerors. They're not given necessarily to wearing fake
No
mustaches.
fun allowed.
Hey, the Egyptians conquered people. They had fake stuff.
True.
All their hair was fake.
Hey, don't tell
Yes,
them
but
that.
it wasn't because they couldn't actually grow hair.
Some of them, probably. Some of them. Anyway, my shit posting aside.
And you also get a ping from, let me find their name, the offices of High Despot Tarot Kahan of Vesk 3. Wants a meeting with you, Commodore, to discuss military, to discuss some weapons deal.
Can I schedule that for a week from now?
Yeah, it's ostensibly he wants to talk about getting a few pieces for his private collection.
Ooh, yeah. Actually, if it's something like that, have him send whatever he's wanting, and then I will email him back with a price.
Yeah.
Because specialty items require a lot less time. Haha.
Yeah. But yeah, you've sent that off. You'll get a reply on that in a few days. But
That's
yeah,
fine.
the news agency contacted is clearly on planet because that one,
I don't really care if I'm on the actual news.
well, I'm just saying.
Right? Nah, we'll make him like have to work for it.
Okay, yeah, they're yeah. So you're not
So
gonna
yeah,
send
we'll
anything
blow
back
off the news
immediately?
report,
Okay.
but I just don't feel like that audience is important enough for me to deal with right now.
Right on.
True.
Uh, I haven't made a mess of anything here yet, so I'll deal with the public then.
You
I mean,
do,
right now they think I'm super cool because I fuck shit up.
by the way, get a first of all, you get a media package that has just arrived to you that was sent by that was sent by Thoba Screenfellow's office. Um, it'll
Of course, now I have to go talk to the fucking reporter because my
nope
lawyer said it was a good idea.
nope
Okay.
your lawyer he wouldn't have even known you had this offer yet.
Okay.
No, he
I don't know. He
there is a
started.
video there is a video package that actually it's not from it's yeah it is from the offices of the Sobus Greenfellow, but it doesn't bear his actual signature. But it does say but there is a video package that basically updates you on stuff that's going on in the packed worlds, and it's like there's news reports where like there's one news report that's like, and in other news, the Vitari Tech is well it is well Arius Tech is well Arius Tech is funding the release of some of the most dangerous criminals in the packed worlds. It's also reported that Vitari Tech that the lawyers funding the lawyers representing Captain Zyvel Veto in his bid for sovereignty work for Vitari Tech. And is this a scan? Is this a? And the question remains: is there too much money in politics these days?
Yes.
Is there a question?
Yes.
And is it legal to? And is it strictly speaking legal to take over a planet to be able to get around your crimes with a diplomatic immunity? These are questions that, and there's like talking head pundits that are talking about like the issue. There are people protesting the fact that like your suit for sovereignty. There are a lot of people looking in right now to the funding, the like Mastodon mining corporations funding of the Hell Knight, or utilizing the Hell Knights, everything going on with Vitari Tech and the money trails leading back from your legal battles and stuff. Um, and there's a great deal about like Vitari Tech's prices are one of the big things is there's like one of the talking heads points out the idea that Vitari Tech probably is probably funding for looking for a nice juicy deal on mining resources so that they can cut Mastodon mining out of their supply chain for resource materials to building their weapons. And there is a big to do about like these three companies. There's a serious shift in the balance of economic power between them. Like their stocks right now are super dynamic, and everything that like you're looking at like their stock charts, they're giving analysis between like the events that have happened within the stock market versus like actions that have been tied to the Fire Shrike and Zyvel Veto, and actions that have been tied to the Hell Knights. And they even had there's even one reporter that nobody is taking seriously, and you're not even sure why it was put into the video packet, but somebody clearly thought this was of interest. That there's definitely at least one reporter from a very like not terribly legitimate news agency that is linking funding from Vitari Tech to the Next Step terrorist organization as well. Something that you're well aware of because of your you've gone up that's how talent drew you in, is with using the Next Step organization. But as far as
Yes,
you
yes, he
know,
did.
you weren't, but as you're not, no one ever said whether had ever told you that that deal was still ongoing. In fact, Talat had never mentioned the Next Step organization, not even once after you guys went out to the colony systems to work. But to you, that's somebody actually figured this out without me spilling the beans. But too bad nobody will believe them. But it is kind of one of those things where it's like somebody's telling me people know things and that there are connections being made
Good. Good.
and what have you. Um,
So, if that's all we need to do on planet, then I suggest we prepare and leave for our destination. Shaba, you to Lesk 7, correct?
mhm.
And then us to the station.
All right. And I've got one scene for Xander before we leave here.
Hmm.
Xander, you were kind of wandering about, kind of taking in the sights and what have you. And you see there is a android that is kind of there's that appears to be that appears to have been paying attention to you, like in like the public square as you've been walking around, and they look they they're not just any they're a xenometric android. They're an android built in the shape of a Vesk, but as far as like narratively, like the instead of like the green scales, whoever put them together used blue scales instead. But they seem to be watching you as you're going about your business. And I think Plu probably went with you because Plu is bored and has had nothing to do.
Poor Plu.
Poor Plu.
What's up, Blue? Let's go
Probably
say
talk.
hi.
Yeah, probably talking. He's probably been talking your ear off, like, "Ooh, Blue, that's interesting. Oh, that's really weird. I've never seen. That's crazy. Ooh, yeah." You kind of wander over. They watch you walk over, and as you get a little bit closer, they pointedly look at you slowly and turn and head down an alleyway.
Last time I was in an alley, it didn't end well, but hey, who cares? They're cool. Let's meet them.
They're cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So you follow for a ways. And it's that thing where like they're clearly leading you somewhere, but they're staying just out of vision. And you finally get you finally find yourself in place of in front of what looks like a just sort of a a back like building off of the like a shed from off of a building, some business or another. Um, it's not very big and it's made of like stone construction. But they go in there, turn and look at you one last time, look and go into this shed.
Well, little dude, we either die here or we learn information. Let's find some information out.
Let's do it. I'm always down. You know it. He's just like, huh. But yeah, you go in and looking around, the shed isn't any bigger on the inside. However, there is, give me a perception check here. That's a damn good perception check. You notice, like looking around, because the person you've been following isn't in here, and you're like, wait a minute, what? And like as soon as the thought hits you that that can't be right, you look over and you see like this, and you see like a stone that looks just a tiny bit out of place, just a tiny bit off color, and what have you. You
I touch it.
you touch it, like it feels it feels slightly loose. It feels like it's fake, like you could pull it out.
All right. I got a
And
new colorful brick.
you look over as you pull it out. You look behind where the brick is, and there is a small console. Um, there is just a tiny little console in it. All right. Um,
Let's get some data from this console. What's on here?
so let me get a computers check for you from you here real quick. 19. So it's good enough to determine that this little miniature console controls uh, an elevator. It controls something, and you're almost certain, like as soon as you look at it, you're like, that's a very simple computer. It's not loaded with a lot of data. It's loaded with control schematics or control commands for something. And as soon as you look down and around, you kind of realize that there is you kind of realize that there is just a little bit of area around the edge where you realize that part of the sand that appears to go to, or part of the flooring that goes all the way up to um, all the way up to the walls and whatnot appears to be a bit illusionary. Like there's like a smallest. It's not even all that big, but it's like you realize the tiny holographic projectors that sort of like that create the illusion, because you look down and you're like, that doesn't look right, and you kind of look up and you look around and you see the hidden hollow projectors that are projecting the image that the floor is like one solid piece with no seams in it and what have you. So while the floor looks like it was all one seam before, now you're kind of looking at it and you're going, that's not all one seam. And that definitely controls something.
All right, let's figure out how to move the elevator down.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't take you much doing. As soon as you realize that's what's going on, you kind of do, and you're kind of like moving down. It takes Plu's May Dragon a minute to figure out what's going on and kind of keep pace going down. Plu's just kind of sitting on it like, whoa, okay, well, uh, when they say the bottom fell out, the bottom fell out. And and he seems to think this is relatively funny. But getting down to ah, the you are but yeah, you get down to the bottom of the elevator shaft, and you kind of have to turn around at the bottom to face out. And there's a small hallway with a small group of people at the end of it, including the person you've been following.
Hello. How y'all doing?
As soon as you say something, like the other androids back out of kind of move down different pathways, leaving except for the one that's there standing that you were following. It's like, and they're standing there like, hello, interesting to see and another of our kind here. She's like, who are you? My intel tells me you were here briefly before, and now you're back.
Yeah. My name's Xander, just so you know. Um, and I've been doing some wandering, traveling as per se, and you guys look like you might have information that I would be pertinent to have. I would like.
Information. Well, first of all, you aren't subject to ownership, are you?
No.
Good.
My previous owner died, and since then I've been traveling on my own.
Technically,
Previous.
right now you are the crew of the Fire Shrike.
uh,
But do you actually own him?
He can get up
Yeah,
and
but
walk
it's
away
really
at any
hard to
time.
quit. Yeah, but if he's not on Broken Rock, I can take offense to it.
But in Android mythology, I'm not currently owned by you as a
No,
manufacturer of
definitely
an
Right.
not.
Android.
You are free to make your own decisions
Right. And
most of the time.
androids have had free rights in the Pact Worlds for decades at this point.
And
Free
Captain
citizenship
Zai is
rights.
not exactly a slave
Yeah, I was about to
sympathizer.
say Zai would be the kind of guy to go, "What the fuck? Someone owns you? That's fucked up."
Right.
You want a job? All right, your
Yeah.
first job, just kill that guy.
I was like, I was like, so you're not subject to any oppression here within the Vescarium.
No, sir.
Well, that's good to know. But it does beg the question, what exactly are you doing in the Vescarium? I know most of the androids on Vesk Prime.
Well, initially I was trying to research a particular device, and it kind of ended up with a group of people that had to come here so I can get my stuff back. But
Yeah, that's why we came.
Get your luggage, yep. Um, the quest for luggage.
That's why I was excited to come back.
Yeah. It's like, what sort of device?
it's a shifter of some sort. It's like a world ender shifter, so we gotta figure out how to find it so it doesn't blow up all of existence.
Like, she like kind of relaxes for a minute and kind of looks at it, kind of looks at you, and there's a smile and goes, you know, there is we have information, your brethren, those of us who are of the more synthetic variety, we have a number of myths of our own. Did you know that?
Well, in my research, I did find out about ancient android race that there was a line of us that were created, a specific line that was for a specific purpose that allows me to find something that would better work for like a power source or something, I believe. And that was an avenue I was attempting to travel down, but kept hitting roadblocks for some reason.
It's like kind of chuckles for a minute and it's like, like, so you are much more well versed in the history of our people than most. Many of our own kind don't even know of don't even know of that mythos. Dates back past most of the earliest creation myths. There is there were a couple of different ancient android lines that were forged. So like there was the loyalty line, there was the Sid line, and there was a lost line that we don't have any information on. Our archives have been incomplete.
No one talk about how the Sid line has gone insane.
Yo, references to the Sid line. Hell yeah.
um, like there's this is
I was actually more surprised when they said the loyalty line because loyalty dash zero is
Oh
his
yeah.
make and model.
it's like we're not entirely certain what the purposes of each of these lines were, but they were all of them were tasked to do something different with the sifter. And the high priests of Triune might know more, but thus far we've been unable to garner information on that on it, any information they have. Hmm. Although we have tried, we have a few of ours in the clergy as well. We simply haven't been able to get to the vaults that supposedly have the information. It's like, so were you researching perhaps one of those ancient lines?
I have a feeling that all of them will need to be utilized to get the full information for the sifter. Um, so yeah, most of them I would have to go down all three of them to get all the information to better understand where the sifter and its purpose and how to utilize it best for existence.
Hmm. It's like, it's like, kind of like, I understand that there are potential hints about I understand there are potential hints about the origins of at least the loyalty line that exist within the Aslanti Empire. For obvious reasons, we haven't been able to gain any intel from the Aslanti Empire. We're too busy anytime that we're there, we're too busy freeing our brethren.
Which is always a noble thing to do.
You're like, if you are researching if you are researching these ancient lines of androids, I'm certain we could be of a potential benefit to each other. We've also invested. There are some of us that have also launched similar investigations within the android abolitionist front.
So, could we combine research notes and communications to get a more overall understanding of what this sifter is and how to do it? I mean, take what you've guys done and what I've done, and then we would have a better understanding of it.
Well, we're much more interested in the ancient lines than whatever this sifter is, but if it's as dangerous as you say, it poses it poses a threat to SROs and androids as well. We
Yeah.
would be we would be open to communication on the subject. You may call me Agent Tourmaline.
All right, Agent Tourmaline.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so any information you have on the sifter itself from your research, can you forward that to me so that I can go between what I have and what you send me to get a better understanding? And then I'll look into more of these ancient things. And if I find anything out, I can forward that information to you to better help what you need to do.
She kind of looks around for a minute and she's like, she's like, hey, she's like, I will give you, she's like, she hands you like a symbol, like what are they called? I think they're in the Pact Worlds, if I'm not mistaken.
The Starfighters?
No, there is a insignia thing that that they use, and I'm trying to remember what the name of the actual. It's essentially oh, okay.
It's a mark.
Yeah, she's like they're like, would you be willing to get? She was like, would you be willing to join the cause?
For my own race, yes, always.
You're like, then come with me. We'll get you we'll get you an encryption tattoo, and you can utilize it if you can use it to identify yourself to members of the Android Abolitionist Front. So, like, yeah, you give yourself an encryption tattoo with she'll set you up with an encryption tattoo with the android abolitionist front. Basically, what it is it's kind of like if you've ever watched like Dark Matter. The androids there have themselves a symbol thing they can just touch and it shows up, and people who it show it to people and whatnot. It's similar to that, but it's for the android abolitionist front. In fact, I wonder if that's where they got the idea for it. It would make sense. Yeah, Agent Tourmaline is like we're particularly interested in we're particularly interested in the I'm particularly interested in the loyalty line. There are others that are more interested in the SID line. There are some members of the front where that are less interested in these ancient myths than they are in current world, current galaxy-wide politics. This won't guarantee any android abolitionist front will have the information you're looking for, but at least give you a friendly enough introduction to get in the door and ask questions. You'll have to find them first, but once you do, you'll have the means to open a dialogue.
Yeah, that'll be most helpful. I mean, helping any android in any part of the system of existence is always prominent. So, whichever they're wanting to do, I'll help them as they help me, you know?
Like, there's more than one way to bring our people up. And Tourmaline kind of looks at like gives you like probably will spend some time like talking to you about the cause. Very politically motivated. Like it's common knowledge that like the Veskarium places like the Pact Worlds and the Marixa Republic and to the Veskarium and are generally recognize androids as free citizens, but there are lots of other places who don't. And even within the Pact Worlds, the Veskarium and the Marixa Republic, there's still like underhanded criminals that will take androids as slaves and sell them off to bidders that are outside of those legal jurisdictions and whatnot. So the Android Abolitionist Front kind of like represents that. And the Tourmaline takes the time to really sort of like there's a great deal of that join the cause, sort of like rallying cry involved in their like presentation to you, conversation and what have you. Um, but I think we can, and Plu probably occasionally interrupts with something that has nothing to do with politics and is simply more to do with like whatever has interested him in the moment. Like, why are your scales blue? That's so weird. I don't think I've seen a Vesk with blue scales. Are you supposed to stand out? Who made you? These kinds of questions, which
Poor
Tourmaline
innocent Plu.
which Tourmaline answers with the patience of a saint. Yeah, poor Plu. He's like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm just gonna ask questions. But yeah, there's probably and I imagine Captain Xander's probably the last one that hasn't come back yet at this point.
I still
And
have to get my business licenses.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, no, like you managed to go back to the. We'll cut back to that in a second. But
Okay.
I just want to like
I would probably spend, a bit of time, creating a personal connection and listening to his spiel and just giving him high prompts and whatever as he's making his statement. I don't know, my brain kind of faded halfway through that thought.
I feel you.
You are muted, Captain. uh, Nope. Okay. All
No,
right. He's
still
fixing.
muted.
He's fixing his problem. So, uh,
Okay.
I can hear him from the other room because he's in the same
It
house as me.
wasn't important. It was
There.
just supposed to be funny, and it's taken way too long now.
Okay. All right. Vesa, you
We
get
know
back.
you missed out on a joke, and then you went, "Oh, that joke wasn't even funny in the first place." It's okay, Captain.
And then we
you did
all
it.
were like, "What did you say?"
Um, Vesa, you do manage to get back to the office with the first the Vesk lady that you talked to the first time, and get the. It takes a while to get everything processed, even cutting down some of the slack. Even though cutting down some of the running around from office to office, from bureaucrat to bureaucrat, it still
Right.
takes a while. But finally, and maybe there's like this sort of montage of this quick little montage of Vasef signing things, waiting, signing more things, looking at stuff, like reading stuff on a data pad,
Mhm.
getting a card handed to her, handing it back, getting it handed back again, that sort of weird stuff, before you finally manage to make it out. And Rec, who has for the most part been really patient with this whole thing, as you walk out, goes, I don't see how you put up with all of that. That just seemed like a whole lot of unnecessary running around for a few pieces of paper and a permission slip, essentially.
It was absolutely pointless. But now we're legal. Real quick. Did I get
He
an
should
event
actually enjoy
license?
that.
The event license. The event license was a weird special thing because that actually has to go through a military like approval process.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
But at least we know how to get one now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like there's like a military board that actually determines whether a big festival of anything kind can be thrown and how it looks, and they get it with the idea of, if you can't do it with the right security, then you can't fucking do it. Period.
What are they afraid of? Is this party going to have guns? Is this
And
party
they're
going to have explosives? Will
I
anyone
mean,
be hung, stabbed, murdered at one of your events?
If you have
well,
answered no to any of these questions, you cannot have the
Plausibly.
license.
well. Here's
This is the
the
Veskarium.
well. Their concerns have more to do with like domestic terrorism, because the Patra and some of the Patra and to some extent some Skittermanders and some
Oh.
Inchtikri have joined the
Yeah.
Polonus Liberation Front, and there's always some pressure
Skittermander
there.
fucking
Everybody that
terrorists.
is out doing stuff, that reminds me. Anytime you find some Patra, you're supposed to tell them about how Patra are settling on planet Xi.
Ah. Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah. No.
Put out
Then
some Patraganda.
that means that
Oh
Merch.
God, that was terrible.
That means Merch is going to be extolling the virtues of Planet Xi literally everywhere he goes.
Right, Ellen.
Yo, but can we just stop for a second and be like, Skittermander terrorists?
Yeah, no, they'd make the most adorable little domestic terrorists.
Well,
Can you
honest-
imagine one going full, making videos to put on the infosphere of like slitting
Oh,
Vesk
yeah.
throats? They have
Oh,
to get
yeah,
on
they
like a
go
fucking stack
viral.
of newspapers in order to even reach it.
Aww.
Oh,
That's so cute.
wonderful and
I will
terrible
split
all at the
him
same time.
open with my belly mouth.
well,
No, you won't.
technically speaking, in the court of public opinion, should they be aware of, and Veskarium they are now kind of aware of, Plu, as far as the Pact Worlds was concerned, would
Fat
now be
Worlds.
considered the Pact Worlds. Would be considered a terrorist now because he's part of the Fire Strike with you guys.
Fuck. He's so sweet. That's unfair to Blue.
Pretty
Right.
sweet terrorist.
Glycel
before
is considered a terrorist
Yo, he
because
do be
not
kind of
only.
sweet though.
now.
Well, yeah. Well, like I said, we need to find him a friend.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, bad joke of the night.
Yes.
How often do I make jokes about elements?
How often?
Uh,
Periodically.
Oh, you need to be shot.
Hey,
Brian.
speaking of
Bless.
that, I've got my claptrap voice. I could,
No,
if I need to
we
be
will
shot.
drag you out into the
No.
middle of the fucking public square and shoot
I
you.
have
Let's just not.
I have server mute powers.
I do too.
Guess what? I do too.
Oh god.
You dare question the power of the almighty Jimmy?
Oh, Jimmy. Sorry.
But yeah, so you guys have kind of got like, and Twinkle, I think the last bit that I've got here, I wanna is actually going to deal with you, because you're still like your algorithms have been running. You have nailed down a time frame that it might have happened in. You can't nail down a definitive time, and in that time frame, you're like the video, his lore, because your video in that time frame area loops. It's that
Ooh.
they looped it, but you tracking down the command access codes that were used. The command access codes that were used were actually Nahir's.
You vex me,
And
sir.
no
I'm not
useful
even there.
video.
What?
Then no video I can track. They looped the whole security system?
Like,
Yeah. For the first, for the only
Wait.
the closest video footage you can find that isn't looped, that give you any indication of who might have been in the area, would have been just tracking down like where everybody was at the time. There were a lot of people that were not on ship, but
Mhm.
you see a Kasathan walk by, and you seen and you see a Kasathan walk by, and you see down a hallway that is sort of in the direction of the med bay, but not enough to be like considered like concrete proof. But you also see Nurse Jerkdasal down that walking down that hallway too. But being that the Nurse Jerkdasal is part of the med team, there's also legitimate reasons she could have been in the area.
Hmm.
what about the cam footage from Nahir's dash cam on the buggy?
Wait. Why would we?
Yeah, it's the cam footage, and apparently whatever this was, whoever got in here and did this, well, I probably ought to state what the time frame was. It actually happened while you guys were while you guys were at the Pyramid of the Black.
Hmm.
So it happened on Octurne, but it happened at the Pyramid of the Black. It happened like your last stop before you went and picked up Rex Tolak and them.
Yeah.
Hmm. Problem. Do.
Hello, Twinkle. I haven't heard from you all day. What's up?
Yeah, I was just, sitting here minding my own business, and so I found out whose codes were used to completely blank our system.
Hmm. Go on.
It rhymes with Bahir.
Uh,
Wow.
Big rip.
what do you mean?
F in chat.
Whoever took down our defenses.
Tamir?
Whoever took down our defenses used Nahir's key codes.
Hmm.
And get this.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do it while we were at our last stop on Octurne. This happened while we were at the Pyramid of the Black.
You know,
Best kicker is, They looped our security footage. So the best
Yeah.
I can do is give you 2 potential suspects. And other than that, it could be anybody.
Okay.
Why didn't we zero out his keycard, his codes when we had the chance?
Honestly, it was oversight.
Hmm. A lot of that's happening lately, Captain. You're not gonna like one of the people that's a potential suspect.
Okay.
Well, I got, let's see, first probably sending a picture of the Kasathan. This guy here.
And
His name escapes me.
yeah, in fact, it's not just his name that escapes you. His face is blurred in the picture. Like his face, like of any distinguishing features
Oh, well, that
seem to be
changes
blurred
things.
out. Which also tells you too that because this is coming from working camera from a couple of cameras a couple of hallways down that were actually not looped and that were working. Yeah, there's
Hmm.
there's
What about
whoever they were
identifying
had something
body features?
not enough to work with.
Hmm.
My money's on this guy. However, just to cover all the bases, there was one other person in the vicinity.
Hmm.
Send a picture of Trictizel.
Ah.
Now, she has clearance for the med bay, but I'm just showing you the facts as I found them.
Hmm.
I don't believe it, don't really want to believe it, because whatever she does is almost always at the direct order of, March. So,
I
I
believe
doubt
that Nest
he'd do anything
Churchill
this
has her
stupid.
own agenda.
You believe so?
Yes. But I also believe that you are correct 90% of it. But she still has a will of her own. It's not like she's some puppet for Merch to play with.
You know, I know that in practice or in theory, but then I watch her follow him around and it's hard to believe.
Well, you
I
never
just
know
hope
what
you're right, Captain.
he did for her. Yeah, well, honestly, do what you can to keep your eye on him. The Lysil has had much more time with us and is a more level headed sort of folk. But Merch has his uses.
Mm-hmm.
So just hmm. If you notice anything, let me know. And there'll come a point where he's not Slef. His usefulness, no matter how good it is, only has limits.
At least at the end, Slef was willing to die for us. I'll just
Eh,
be honest and say March doesn't plan on dying for anything.
no, Merch plans to live forever. He needs a laboratory so he can become a lich.
Well, when he does that, let me know.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I'll follow
But
up, see what I can't do to get these images cleared up for our Kasathan friend. Considering, now that I think about it, we didn't have anybody Kasathan
does
on
it
our
look like
crew, did
all
we?
the other blurry footage we have of the Kasathan that was on the hover thing?
Most of the time, the guy that was on the hover thing, anytime you've seen him, it's mostly been that he's been in the shadows. Not that there's anything blurry necessarily. It's just you can't get a good look at him because he manages to keep his features shadowed to where you can't tell who he
Right.
or she is. Because a
Yeah.
Kasathan with the light at their back, you probably aren't going to be able to tell which gender they are.
Right, we all have shapely
You
body
know,
features.
so yeah, whoever they are, they've stayed in the shadow. Whoever this is has purposely kept themselves blurred out.
Other than
Yeah.
Captain, what do we have any Kasathan on crew?
Like
You have
20?
the Yeah, I was gonna say you have all of the unfulfilled that you picked up with the Idari,
Mm.
the people who wanted to move on from the Idari.
So just the inherent security risk that we took a chance on because it was the right thing to do. I understand.
Well, all right. So, I mean, I don't know why, but the only ones that would have had access to anything Nahir wise would be my soldier friend and his
Jim,
friend. Yeah.
Rasa.
Yeah, Jim and
So-
Rasa would be the only two, and
Okay, I have an idea.
see.
Might take a minute. We work from the access codes. Whoever had to have done this had to have also taken the time to find Nahir's access codes. So if I figure out who did that, I mean, it's going to be a lot of searching terminals, but if I can do that, maybe they weren't as smart.
Did you watch my snuff video?
Yeah, Twinkle was the one who found
Yeah,
the
he found
video.
it.
Yeah, Twinkle's the one. All right, so if it was the person from that video, or that posted that video, it's actually possible that if he was on the Adari at the time, he could have literally gotten the codes from Nahir.
But wouldn't Nahir have to have trusted them enough to give him the codes then? Like, when you
Not
talk to someone in
necessarily.
the network, do they have any cognizance of being asked?
It's not whatever that show is on Prime. It's more like talking to Mega Hal,
Okay.
except not a psychotic one.
I just wasn't sure if they had any awareness of who was asking them the question.
Well, when Jester and I discussed this, not really.
Yeah, it's more of a shadow of their knowledge and who they were than their true soul.
Right? Like, you
Otherwise,
can ask them
Kathasins would
questions,
have no
but
religion whatsoever. So,
yeah, we'd be like, screw you. We know exactly where we go, and we will protect it with the very last one of us.
So it's more like it's just a copy of their neural patterns, not
Yeah,
their actual soul.
Yeah, not their
Yeah.
soul.
yeah.
It's a very science-based save and a very unspiritual based save.
So, I'm trying to think here. If they got it from Nahir, the only way we'd know that is if we somehow contacted the Adari and got those records. Correct?
Yeah, the bonus is my aunt runs the place that has those records. So, really, I just need to send her the message. But we have stuff to do. It might be a month before we get the message.
A month, they might have done more damage than they already have if they're still here.
And merch. Before we go, what are you up
Yes.
to?
Merch
Kinda
is probably prepping with Nurse Jerkdazal to go and heal some people.
So you are okay. I need real quick. I need. I'm going to need a sense motive from you here, real quick.
All right. Okay. Let's see here. Ah.
33.
Yeah. Okay. I can beat that in theory. In theory.
Nope.
Don't you have some sort of reroll too?
Actually, I think from Grifter I do. But I
think it's a profession roll, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I think it's a reroll for profession. Yeah.
Alright, because I know that the one I get from Paranormal Investigator, it's like as long as it's the skill that I use for my profession. So as long as it's mysticism.
Yeah. I'm gonna real quick though. I'm gonna be like, Nurse, I have an idea.
Yes, doctor.
You know how we are sallying forth to treat the unwashed masses, yes?
Yes.
Well, they won't be med school candidates, but I'm sure that we can find someone down on their luck that we can hit with the classic contract. If you could make all efforts to make yourself as casual and legitimate as possible, I would appreciate that. And on top of that, if we do bring in a third party, I would prefer if we were to give them somewhat comfortable housing. Would you be willing to share room with me so that they can stay in your room to less arouse suspicion?
Well, they're like she basically here or on the Ember.
We will need to eventually transfer them to the Ember, but for now, they will just be a friend, someone who is a charity case and a convenient side avenue to test new formula. But we will eventually get them on the Ember, and from there, well, you know procedure.
Hmm. She's like, very well, sir. Very well, doctor. It will be as you say.
And one more thing. I've
Yes,
been
doctor.
clashing lately with this Glycil person. I need to make sure
Indeed.
that.
She's like, indeed.
I need to make sure that they understand the stakes. If you wouldn't mind, I know you are good at more under the table actions than I am. Find a way to subtly, but without proof, let him know who really runs the shots here. Nothing as direct as a note, but maybe something that has ominous portent to it.
Understand. I understand.
Thank you, nurse. Thank you very much.
All right.
And yeah, at that point, he just starts packing up his medical bag.
All right. All right. And I didn't mean to cut you guys off on your discussion there over, what's over the your investigation. I just wanted to make sure I touched base with Merch one more time before we call it in. But do you guys have anything further you want to do? Anything further you want to do for before we leave? Call off for the night. I want to make sure everybody's got the scenes they want to get in for the evening. Anybody?
Think good.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So, with that said, let's go ahead. It is almost 11. It's 10:41. We ran a little bit longer tonight, but that's fine. I feel like we got a lot done. Let's go ahead and start sign-offs and send me your Player's Choice Awards. And we'll start with let's start with Xander here.
Okay, I'm Scott. Psych. Whatever. Pick something. Call me that. I don't know. All right, I'll play Xander. So I got to meet some fun people today. That'll be helpful in the future. We'll learn things, and we'll be good. What else? Okay, so when Wednesday comes, I'll be in Hinchdom Minch as Knight, who still wants a generator in his bloody glaive. Want that generator, but I suck at it. So whatever. And we got a new dude, which is kind of weird. He's kind of weird dude in that game, but whatever. Okay, what else? Flesh and Fire, I played Jake the Mechanic dude. Legion class, I'm gonna play Adam Mason. Faulty Comics, I got to punch a zombie. How do you not enjoy punching zombies in the face? This is cool. And then in Ballad of the Menagerie, I play Chess. And yeah, I made a lot of people mad with that one. I did. I'm like, all right, let's go this way. I made the captain on that ship mad because I was like, I make choices now.
You
Look at me.
I am the captain.
Yeah. But yeah, that was still fun. Anyways, yeah, that's everything I think.
All right, awesome. Make sure you send me your Player's Choice Award, and we will move on to Brian. You want to go next?
Sure. Yes. Tonight I played Shaba Young, captain of the Fire Shrike, and now sent to do a medical mercy mission. We'll see how that goes. Got to keep an eye on that merch. Yeah, something shady about that little radish. On Tuesdays, you can find me also playing Sakura, the elf sort of ninja street samurai, and Shadowrun Saddle for Nothing Less. Something like that. Anyway, Seattle's in the name, so that's anyway. Yeah, that's an interesting one. We'll see how that goes. Punching windows when they shouldn't be punched is actually breaking the glass is quite interesting. I'm waiting to hear for fireballs being flying around and going, oh, the fight's that way. And you may find me in any other game that's going on. Just depends on life. Anyway, that's it for me.
All right. Then from there, let's go to Winkle.
Hello, ladies and gents. My name is Cyrus Smith, and you just saw me playing Twinkle Bailey, the isekai that is wondering who to trust. Is Jerk Dazul acting alone? Is it not Jerk Dazul at all? Is Merch in on it? Well, of course, Merch. Well,
Rum, bum, bum.
Again, here's with the not knowing who to trust thing. So yes, but you can also find me on. Let's see. Well, tomorrow is going to be Don't Seattle for Anything Else. Don't Seattle for Anything Less. God. Or I'll be playing Drifter, the lady who loves nothing more than to run people over in her semi. And there hasn't been a ton of that lately. That's made me sad, but I'm sure I will get the chance to, because I missed the last time we had the opportunity to do things like that. So it'll happen sooner or later. You can also find me on Wednesday, where I'm playing Acer, the telepathic sniper, who's really getting into all of this planning thing. I never realized that, it could be that much fun thinking and overthinking and then, second guessing yourself and then probably, but what if? Yeah, that there's a lot of paranoia going on in that game, not gonna lie. Lot of paranoia. But you can also find me on let's see, Thursday, playing Project Severovo, where this time I have not forgotten it. And my character is Anatoly Bashenko, the cook who is probably not in the good graces of anyone on the team right now, because we woke them up, 3 times during the night? Twice during the night?
Twice.
Either twice? Yeah. Oh well. You can also find me on, let's see. I said Thursdays. Saturdays, whenever running a Justice Grab Bag. Watch for me there. You can also find me on Sunday, running Tales from the Cosmos, where a band of intrepid adventurers are dealt with the aftermath of blowing up an island. And honestly, it went a lot better for them than I kind of expected. And so, yeah, now they're back on the seas, and because nothing is ever simple, we'll see what happens until, another issue befalls them. So, that is me.
Awesome. Well, let's go over to Vesa.
Okay, hi guys. I'm Amy Yedden. Played Vesa tonight. Poor thing didn't know what the fuck she was doing. And then suddenly pulled her shit together real fast. I also no longer trust Merch because you should never make friends with your drug dealer.
It's just
Yep.
totally
Um,
different people.
Uh-huh.
Life
Uh,
lessons. However, I wasn't there, so I mean, just out of character. But I don't play in anything else because being an adult is stupid, and my world revolves around not having fun. Uh, but Mondays are the best, and yeah, that's me.
Cool. Then let's go to James.
Hi ho, friendolas. My name is James, otherwise known as Nightheart. You caught me here today playing Sarald Silverchild, who might as well be called S because he's pretty much L, except he won't get murdered by a book, at least I hope. We got to do a little bit of sleuthing and figure out where we need to go next. You can also catch me here on Wednesdays, where I am in Henchment, where I play Martyr, the pain-dealing, pain-giving super mutant who got to laugh at a cripple, and that's what he's all happy about. And we're getting to just laugh at an edgelord while I take him on a tour of the building that he probably already knows everything about. But fuck him, because he's an edgelord. You can also catch me here
Agreed.
on Thursdays, where I play Olzeg Malganovich, the KGB spook who does KGB spook things and shoots people in the back and then goes, haha, let's bury them here. And is one intimidating, one persuasive motherfucker, because those are both above 80% now, so, hopefully that'll help with my bad rolls. Can also catch me here on Sundays, where I am in Tales from the Cosmos, where I play a whole bunch of different characters. Two of them even talk right now. And we're going to go back out on the high seas and do some fun things. Also, one of my characters got hit on despite being technically a 4-year-old, which is awkward to think about.
Wow.
Other than that, I think that's it. So I will talk to you all later.
Alrighty. Commodore, if you would, sir.
I'm sorry, I'm at a loss after that. Let's try this again. Hello, everyone that watched tonight. We'd like to thank you for watching this episode. I'm still not sure about the last thing that happened, though. It was rough. I normally play Captain's Eye on Monday nights, which means I'm 6'4" and I got forearms and I look kind of like a Kasathan. Oh, and that looks kind of like Goro. But anyway, see, James, look what you've done to me.
I'm glad.
Sunday's canceled.
The whole day.
What?
The
Whole day,
fucking
okay.
day.
So anyway, let's just go on with this. Tonight's episodes were brought to you by Board Spirit Boop. Fuck! Words are hard. James, just do the commercial. I'm done.
Alright, hold up.
Judge me by my merch, do you? And where you should not. For my ally is the Purple Codex, and a powerful ally it is. Life creates it, makes it epic. Luminous streamers are we, not this ethic matter. You must feel the merch around you, between you and me, and the stream, and the chat, and even between us. Ship.
Wow.
Oh god.
Matthias Dieschborg. Win 5, get 1 free.
I think he might be dead.
Hello, everyone. It is me, your friendly radish, who is definitely not up to anything at all. In fact, all of you calling me a radish only disarms the actual vision that I am in fact a Raxolite, which is a sentient being. You're all just simply playing into one ploy after another. Hi, everybody. My name is Mike.
You're
Also known as
radish.
Win 5, Get 1 free. Tonight you got to catch me playing Merch Matthias Dieschborg, the lovable little radish man. Wow.
What did you just say there? Radish? Is that the word you want to choose to use?
More
Yeah,
like
right.
rat-ish.
Freudian slip.
Who is currently planning nefarious things as always. What are we going to do tomorrow, Brain? The same thing we always do, Pinky, take over the world. You can also catch me on Thursdays where I'm running Project Severovo, where things are always hinky and weird and strange, and a little bit scary. So that's exciting. I can't wait to show you people more and more of Severovo as it unfolds like a beautiful blossom of a corpse flower, smelling the room up and making everybody gag. So, you can also catch me on various Saturdays for Just as Grab Bags and or Black Box Theaters whenever they happen. I am trying to be better about getting to those. You can catch us on YouTube if you're currently watching on Twitch at youtube.com/Parodice Theater. And if you happen to be watching on YouTube right now and you want to catch this shit live because you want to hear me stumble through my outro like a bumbling buff, you can catch us at twitch.tv/pair_o_dice_theater. And if you want to see some scheduling, and you want to see some of our input on things, and you want to see hot memes, you can catch us at Pair
Yay,
Theater on
hot
Twitter.
memes.
My name is Mike, also known as Winfog Get One Free. You can catch me on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/thathoon, THATHOON, all caps, and that is me.
All right. That brings it back around to me. We have been short Purple Codex tonight because she is very, very sick and not feeling good and down. We wish her well. So should you, because she's all right. She's awesome. She's cool. And let's get some bookkeeping out of the way here. Everybody gets 1,000 experience points. 1,000 experience points for you, and 1,000 experience points for you, and 1,000 experience points for you, and you, and your NPCs too.
Why is no one screaming like they're on Oprah? I'm angry.
Ah!
No.
Because I'm just jamming.
Because
'Cause I
I was
leveled up.
actually like, and unlike whose line is it anyway, the points do matter because that's how we race.
And tonight's Player's Choice Award goes to Vesa for dealing
Shit,
with all of that
thanks, guys.
bureaucracy, I'm sure.
It's crazy. Thank you. I didn't know what I was fucking doing.
Does anybody really?
So give
No.
yourself an extra 700 experience points there, Vesa, for a Player's Choice. So, and with that said, wow. I am the Just King Zerat. You can catch me here on Monday nights for the Fire Shrike, our flagship show. My favorite group of space terrorists, space pirates, and never-do-wells who are doing all kinds of crazy shit. They're all over the place. All right. You can catch me here on Tuesday nights for Don't Seattle for Anything Less. And yay, I'm the first one to not fuck up the title, where I play
Hey.
Salvo, the cocky elven combat mage with way too many identities and an affinity for throwing lots of fireballs for crowd control. And you can catch me here on Saturdays. In fact, this Saturday night, oh my God, I hope this is more prophecy than pointlessness, but the plan is Flesh and Fire, our Apocalypse World
Flesh
game,
and fire, flesh and fire, flesh and fire.
Push and fire.
which we will be doing every other Saturday. And on the Saturdays that we are not, we will try to fit in a Black Box Theater every now and again, or we will do some Faulty Comics Presents. I'm not sure where we're launching pad for Faulty Comics is going to be. That title may actually change because I'm trying to get it to be our first superhero team for Faulty Comics, and we'd name the show after that if I can get a team together for it. But we'll keep you posted on it. You can also catch me here on Sunday nights for the Ballad of the Menagerie, where the greatest obstacles aren't actually people, monsters, or anything like that. It's the fucking environment. Because they can fight all kinds of monsters, they can fight mercenaries, they can bring down trolls, but they can't climb chasms, cross rivers, or find their way in the wilderness. And then that's the stuff they're not good at. But they are a lot of fun to watch as they fail their roles for survival. They're successful everything but. But you can, let's see, I believe that is it for me. 15.1 free covered all of the social media stuff, so I don't have to do that tonight. We love you, and let's get a RIP Fern and get out of here.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.